Welcome to the DJD show. Enjoy 50 Shades of Broly, a parody. Satire. You're at an anime convention, enjoying yourself, then suddenly you see your ex-boyfriend, who you broke up with 6 months ago, standing near the exit. You try not to panic and calmly move away from the door. The con isn't over yet, but you just want to get out of there before he finds you. You aren't paying any attention to where you're going, and you crash into someone. You look at the man you knock down and notice that it is the voice actor Broly. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, and I didn't see you. You keep frantically apologizing to him. You offer a hand to help him up, and he takes it. You frantically keep apologizing to him. Really, it's all right, I'm fine. Don't worry about it, he smiles at you. You smile back and get lost in his green eyes. Then you hear your ex yell from behind you. I knew I'd find you here, you little bitch. You gasp and try to run away, but he catches you by grabbing your wrist. You struggle and try to get free, but it doesn't work. What do you want from me? You are panicking. Okay. Continuing. I love you. Isn't that enough for you? He replied. He drops his guard, and you take the opportunity to jerk out of his grip, and you start running. Thankfully, you're faster than he is, so you outrun him, but you crash into a table and hit your head. It doesn't really hurt you, but it does slow you down just enough for him to catch up. He pulls out a knife and... Well, I'm not reading this part, no way. Okay, that's... Yeah, links will be in the description, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't feel like getting a strike on here. Unknown to both of you, Brawley has been paying attention to this entire ordeal since you crashed into him. He tells a little... I can't even tell what in the world this is. A little... what was he tells somebody what was happening. Links in the description. You want to find out what happened there. They both run over after sending someone to find security. Broly stands in front of you, protecting you from your ex, and LK stands next to you just in case. You pull the knife out of your shoulder and hide it behind your back. LK grabs you and pulls you close to him to try and keep you from seeing what is going on in front of you. Broly and your ex fight for a few minutes, and Broly gets knocked down. You gasp and pull away from LK and stand in front of Broly. Stop it, blank. He has nothing to do with this, you exclaim. He got between you and me, and that means he has something to do with this. He retaliated. That's enough, blank. I've had enough of you, you yell. What the hell does that mean, he asks. It means payback is a bitch and so am I, you yell before accurately throwing the knife at him, hitting him about the same place he stabbed you. Security took him away and agreed that you did that what you did was purely self-defense. Oh, you're all right, Mr. Broly, you ask. Yeah, I'm fine. No bruises or anything, he replied. That's good. I'm really sorry you got caught up at this. It's my problem, and no one else should have got involved. You smile sadly at both of them and start walking away. Blood started running down your arm. You cursed under your breath and clutched your right shoulder with your left hand. You start walking toward the bathroom to wash the blood off when Broly... Oh, great. Alright, continuing in a second. Gotta refresh this. Broly stops you. What do you want, Mr. Broly? You ask. Come with me. I'll help you with that shoulder, he replied. Before you can argue, he gently takes your right hand and leads you to his hotel room. What's your name, he asks, while you're both in the elevator. Blank? My name's Blank, you reply quietly. There's no need to be shy, he tells you with a smile. You blush and smile back. He wants you into his hotel room. I can't. And sits you down on the couch. He leaves and comes back a few minutes later with first aid kit, a towel, and a washcloth. Okay, I'm gonna need you to take off anything that is near the wound, he tells you. I'll go wait in the other room, and you can cover yourself with the towel and come get me when you're all set, okay? He smiled and you nodded. Your reply. He walked into a different room. Quite the gentleman there, that Broly. Let's see. Right, continuing. You carefully take your shirt off. Wait. You carefully take off your shirt, trying to avoid making the wound any bigger. Thankfully, you succeed. You fold the shirt so the blood is touching the shirt and put it on the couch. You do it you you do the same with your bra, and you take off your necklace just in case. You wrap the towel around your chest and hold it in place and walk over to Broly. Mr. Broly, you ask from the doorway. He turns around and smiles at you and walks with you back to the couch. He sits down and sits next to you. He takes the washcloth which he had just run under the sink and washes the blood off your arms first. He then starts washing around the wound itself without actually touching the wound. Alright, this is gonna sting, he warns you. He put a mild disinfectant on Gao's sponge from the first aid kit. You nod and he gently starts cleaning the wound. You inhale sharply from the sting, and he looks at you with an apologetic look in his green eyes. After all the blood is cleaned off, Broly looks at the wound. Well, it's not that deep, so you don't need stitches, he tells you. Thank you for doing this, Mr. Broly, you say, smiling. You're welcome, blank, and please call me Broly, he says, smiling back at you. While bandaging your shoulder, you say, your girlfriend or wife is a lucky woman. Oh, I'm not married or dating anyone, he says. Really? I thought you were. No, I was going to get married, but we called it off. For some reason, it just didn't feel right. He says like it was no big deal. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say anything that would hurt you or anything out of turn. You say, looking at the floor. He finished bandaging your shoulder and he puts his hand on your cheek. And as you look at him, his green eyes digging into yours. Blank, you didn't hurt or insult me, so don't worry about it, okay? You nod, still looking into his green eyes. He repacks the kit and leaves and comes back a few seconds later with his shirt. You look at him confused. He smiles and says, I figured you could use a shirt without blood on it. Thank you, Broly, but this isn't necessary. It's just a little blood. It's just a flesh wound. Ew. You smile at him reassuringly. It's no big deal. It's just a shirt. It's not like I'm giving you one of my best ones, so don't worry about it. You smile because when he said that, he sounded exactly like somebody from a cartoon that I'm not going to say. Again, links in the description. You can check it out yourselves. And you wonder if he notices when he does it or not. He leaves you again, and you get dressed, careful not to disturb the bandages. After you slip his shirt over your head, you pick up your own, you fold it and look at it, and notice how much blood was actually on it. Damn it, this is one of my favorite shirts, you say under your breath. You sigh and wrap the shirt into a ball and start to put it in your purse. Well, maybe you should try washing it off, Broly says from the doorway. You gasp and turn around to face him. Well, I would, but there's also a hole where blank stabbed through it. You reply, laughing at how stupid it all seems. You put your shirt in your purse and grab your necklace and are about to put it on when Broly takes it out of your hand. Before you have a chance to protest, he says, Here, let me. He stands behind you and puts your necklace on. You smile and thank him. Well, I should probably get going. You say, why? He asked. So I can go home and change into one of my other shirts and return yours. You reply. You walk toward the door and reach for the handle when you hear Broly. yell behind you, "Blank, wait." You turn around to look at him. "What is it?" you ask. He walks over to you and hugs you, and at first you're stunned. You hug him back and smile. He takes your hand and sits with you on the couch again. "Why did Blank attack you?" he asks. "It's kind of a long story," you reply. "I've got time. I'm not on any panels, and the rest of my day was free anyway." "All right. Well, I broke up with him about 7 months ago because he was abusing me. He started off with nothing relevant, little bumps and bruises, nothing noticeable. Then he started teaching me lessons, and those were mostly black eyes or bruises. I knew something was really wrong when he saw me talking to male coworker outside of work, and that lesson was him twisting my arm and breaking it. Wow, what a dick to jam! All right. Cause I don't know how far I can go. I don't want to get YouTube's. He apologized like an idiot. I forgave him. Then it got worse and worse. Okay, I'm not saying that line. Links in the description. You can see it for yourselves. Actually, one time maybe. Oh wow, I'm not saying that one either. There's a lot of oh wow in this sequence. But I would okay. Not that whole paragraph. I'm gonna have to not say. Yeah, YouTube censoring things, so maybe I'll do an uncensored version in the future. Because I say this little paragraph, they will probably nuke this video, which is some BS. But again, this is fictional, not real, but they've gone so strict on everything on the YouTubes that it is what it is. And then Broly says to all this, "Do you think he would have killed you?" he asked. "Yes, and I left him because I didn't want to die, and now I know he'll kill me." And you break into tears and you realize Broly reaches over and pulls you closer to him and lets you cry and strokes your hair while telling you it'll be all right. Yeah, notice that hair part. And notice the date on this, by the way. Yes, that's all I got to say about that. After you finish breaking down, you look up at him and say, "I'm sorry you had to see that. I'll get out of your hair now." Let me see. Wait. This is almost okay. There we go. Continuing. "It's okay, and please stop worrying, Blank. You aren't bothering me at all. Actually, I'm kind of happy." You looked at him confused. "Normally, I'd just be listening to how amazing of a voice actor I am, and so on. It's nice to have someone thanking me for helping them. Normally, I don't have a chance to help people, and I'm glad I could help someone with something other than my voice acting." He smiles at you, and you smile back at him. "Thank you for helping me, but I should still get home." You stand up and start walking away, but he stops you by grabbing your hand from behind. Okay, not going into this whole sequence here. And you turn around and look at him. He smiles at you and you smile back. Then he bends down and gets his face closer and closer to yours. His lips gently press against yours and your eyes widen, but then you lean in. You notice how soft his lips are and how gently he's being with you. And you close your eyes, but then it ends. "Why did you do that?" you asked, still dazed. "I don't really know," he replied. "All right, then." You write down your number on a slip of paper and hand it to him. "If you ever want to talk to someone who won't just talk to you about your voice acting, give me a call, okay?" He nods and you smile at him and leave, hoping maybe you'll be able to walk. You'll be. Let me. We're gonna redo that part. He nods and you smile at him and leave, hoping that maybe you'll be able to talk to him again and maybe even see him again. And that ends the parody reading of this fine piece of literature here. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Again, this was Satire. Not to be taken seriously. The original piece of literature is what it is. I believe it's fan fiction is what they call that. So please don't take it too seriously. It is whatever the original person said it is, and all I did literally was just change some of the names around. Well, pretty much one name specifically around, and it made it Broly instead. That's pretty much all I did, just to make it funny. Unfortunately, there were portions of this which, oh boy, you can go check for yourselves. Again, that's the original author's way of writing it. It's fan fiction. Think of it as an example, a rated R film or PG-13 film. It's you don't take it that serious because It's fiction. So there you go. Have a nice day. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.